Welcome. Welcome
Welcome.
I
would
to
say
the
hello,
Holly.
and you said welcome, and then
Welcome to the Holly
welcome.
Josh Show. Well, this week we're going to be talking about Brexit and the music industry, as well as mental health in the music industry, as well as some music by Hot Tramp, Baby Brother, and some really bad band called JS and the Lockerbillies.
Who are they?
Oh, somebody nobody wants to know.
I don't care.
That's me, innit? How are you, Harley, old darling?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, very. You got your Bob Dylan voice.
I got my greatest Bob Dylan. All right, no, that's gone Lennon.
It's gone Lennon. Yeah.
Oh no.
We were just listening to "We Are the World" and singing along.
We were trying to guess who was singing what song.
Yeah, you can always hear the "We Are the World." Oh, there's Bruce Springsteen.
It was,
yeah, the children. That's Stevie Wonder.
Like that. The Stevie Wonder bit was like, oh, okay, that's the key we're in.
Singing, yeah. It's like, it's not like, oh, we got the children and the hell people.
Oh god, there was some plenty.
I'm liking your Christmas jumper, Raina Vandel Van branding.
Anyone who knows Raina will know the term #branding. Raina actually bought this jumper over the week. It was red, black, and white, which is the Vandel colours, also the Rock Project colours.
It is.
Coincidence? I think probably.
There's two bingo card slots in one there.
Oh yeah, bingo cards at the ready. We are definitely going to take them off today, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So and he got it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't really like it." I'm like, "It's warm, so I'm wearing it."
There we go.
It's big on the shoulders. It's a little bit of an 80s jumper because
you're broader than Broadway.
You can see my broadness, just the way it works. Yeah,
so broad. It's all that climbing you've been doing.
Yeah, I went climbing with Murray the other day. Actually, that was
really?
Great. He's a very good climber. He's very good. Yes.
Well, like, how good? You know, has he got very good fingertips? Is it a bass player thing?
Well, he's just got really good technique. Actually, he's less reliant on his upper body, and very good with his technique of. I taught him a technique which he hadn't heard before.
Right.
Which I didn't use this terminology.
Right.
But I said keep your hips in.
Chirpsy.
Make sure your hips are touching the wall.
Right.
I may not have said hips. I may have said something.
Oh, yes. Non-radio friendly.
It's non-radio friendly, but just
other body parts are available.
I like that. To keep everything, keep your weight towards the wall, and but like he's got some really good technique, and he's doing some really complex climbs, which I never even attempted. So
how like are you and Murray a similar amount of broad?
Yeah, he's. I feel he's got a bit more upper body than me, actually.
You're both pretty chirpsy broad. Chirpsy broads.
Chirpsy broads.
Yeah,
that's our new TV show. We've got a new sitcom where me and Murray live together, and it's called Chirpsy Broads.
Chirpsy Broads, yeah. You're fast talking. So were you both singing whilst climbing?
We were singing along to various songs. They had a really good playlist on, actually.
Great.
Really good playlist. Is
it the Harley and Josh Show playlist, also available on Spotify?
No, but they were playing some IO radio there the other day, actually.
Right.
But it was just like some like mega mix of proper like 80s funky disco tunes, and they're just literally just seamlessly transitioning from one song to another. And it was like, man, this is cool. It was really cool.
That's nice.
So
that was with David Brown wasn't there because he's feeling a bit ill.
He was a bit under the weather, but he
get
did
well soon. David Brown.
He did make it to the Christmas party, with the Old Jet Christmas party that we went to in the evening.
That was loads of fun, wasn't it?
Really good fun. Yeah. I wish I could have stayed longer.
Yeah. But you were at work at 5 a.m.
Yes, at 5 a.m. Me and Raina decided to go to.
Oh, we weren't working. Yeah, that was it. You were driving.
Yes, this side of the country.
Yeah.
We went not there.
Oh, wow.
We went to the other, pretty much up as far as Manchester. We went to. And it was a long drive.
That's long. That is. It's well north.
It was well up north, and I said to Raina as I was driving, I was like, "What do we do if we get there and we can't understand a thing they're saying because their accents are so thick?"
And they're well mank.
And Raina was like, "What do we do if we get there and they can't understand our accents because we're so Suffolk?"
Oh boy, come big up the drums.
I didn't realise like how Suffolk we were when we were in a place where we were the only people from Suffolk. And we're like, oh no, we definitely have an accent.
Yeah, crikey. Amazing. So, did you guys do any music talking on the way up there?
We did lots of music talking. We didn't get to record anything.
Right.
Raina wanted to do a riding with Raina, or Raina rides with, as we've always joked. But
riding with Raina.
We left so early that I forgot to pick up all the equipment to record it with. So we didn't.
So yeah, okay, cool. So you picked up a new PA.
I picked up a new PA system, which
Give us some stats.
Right, this is the ELX live system, the ELX 118p and the ELX 115p powered speakers, 3,500 watts. Thank you very much.
That's what I've got.
yeah. You've got the ZLX tops or the
ZLX tops,
ZLX,
ELX
yeah.
bottoms.
And yeah, it was so powerful. It was great. We did our first gig with it that night.
Mm-hmm.
We drove all the way back, set up for a gig, and we just powered it up and went, oh, this is nice. I mean, we've actually had the best weekend for it because we did the Felixstowe Labour Club Saturday night, and that room's really nice. It's really dead, so you can mic everything up and still get a good volume on everything. It just the sound was perfect. And then we played last night at the Distilled Republic, what used to be the wine bar.
That's great,
and that's a very small, very lively room with a big glass wall. So
great.
it was very toppy, all concrete walls and stuff like that. So it was completely the opposite, but we managed to put it for its paces on both sides, which was quite interesting.
Yeah,
so,
they're very, very versatile speakers as well.
Yeah,
I've been using
really
for
well.
the past sort of 4 years now. And they've worked, festivals in sort of nice canvas marquees. They've also worked in pubs. Yeah, they've gone everywhere with me.
Yeah, and they're so light as well.
What was the idea for the change?
So, I've not been happy with my subs for a long time.
Subs. Yeah.
The Mackie SRS 1500s, they're great, but they're heavy. And they've
heavy in actual weight.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they're quite heavy. They also they've got a nice punch to them, but they don't have a lot of tail. So the kick drum punches through, but the low end light from the bass guitar just doesn't quite stay with you.
You need that, don't you?
Yeah, especially when you've got backing tracks and stuff. Where you've got like pads from keys and stuff like that, it messes up and doesn't quite give you that kind of clean sort of flat response that you want.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for some subs. I did a gig where I used your PA with the Hopefuls and went, oh, this is how it sounds. We just used the one for the gig
for the
at
Shamrock.
That's it. And I was like, no, this is what I need. This is giving me everything that I need.
Good.
I'm like, I'm going to look around. So kept an eye out and saw a guy selling the subs and the tops and went, I might as well just get the whole thing.
Right.
Then I'm sorted. I don't need to. I had 12-inch tops, so I went up to 15s, and they do carry a lot more body and mids, which again gives me so much more scope for the backing tracks to sort of just sit in the mix a lot nicer.
What have you done with the Yamahas?
So the Yamahas, they are being delivered off to the Rock Project today.
Oh, great.
Sold them today at the Rock Project. So now Rock Project has some really nice speakers for them. Which is just great because then I still get to use them because they're very, very good.
They're great speakers, yeah. I mean, we've used them for the Rock Project before, right?
Yeah, we used them last week. Yeah, because his speakers were playing up. I think that's the reason why I wanted to upgrade.
They've worked. They've served him well though. Think about it. It's like doing 3 gigs a week.
Yeah, constantly doing 3 gigs a week.
For how many years?
Yeah, and I don't think they were new when he got them as well. So they've been going, 2 years. That's how many? 50. That's 150 gigs.
That's crazy, right?
And when you think about like those gigs are 6 hours long as well. So
exactly. And Webby helped him out as well, didn't he?
Yes.
With some PA stuff. Webby from the drumming shop in Ipswich, and also has his own show in ICR.
Yeah.
Which I'm
the enemy.
Which people are actually listening to right now instead of us.
It's fine. They're not here. We don't have to be nice to them. Damn you.
Yeah,
no, that's fine.
But yeah, because so the stuff that Webby's helped Dave out with has lasted a really long time, and now I guess it's just a time, just to sort of go back over some of the gear that isn't working now.
Yeah, that's it.
Understandably.
Because Webby donated a mixing desk, which served us really well for quite a long time. That unfortunately bit the bullet a few months. Probably about a month ago, and we then upgraded to another system. And that's the thing with music is you upgrade bits and bobs as you go. I was saying to Oscar last week, I looked down at my pedal board and went, wait, I've done it. This pedal board that I've always dreamed of. I was like, I've got it, and I'm like, I didn't even realise because you just had a bit of time.
Is the plasma pedal on there now?
It's still not on there. It's just not a charter type pedal, and that's where most of my gigs are at. I'll use it for the next Hopeful gig.
Something insane, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So if you had to choose like a favourite gig you had to do last week, which one was it?
Favourite gig of the weekend? Now that's a real hard. I probably would go say last night. At Steel Republic. It was a Sunday night. We were supposed to play 8 till 10. Got to 8 o'clock. It was a little bit quiet, and they said, "Well, let's leave it till 8:30." It was the owner, I believe, Morgan. It was his birthday party, and we were like, "Well, let's wait for him to turn up. We don't want to start without him." And so he came in about past, and everyone else flooded coming with birthday presents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, there was a whole party of people who'd come from a charity boxing match. I think that was at the Corn Exchange, and had come along as well. So we were playing to an absolutely rammed crowd. It was just insane. It was really good.
Was it Pudsey versus like a clown?
Yeah. No, it's Pudsey versus Terry Wogan. Wait.
Oh man.
Too soon. Sorry. I'm sorry.
As children need fighting, children need.
Oh yeah.
But I'm
I'd
sure
watch
there's
it.
many
I
times.
would watch it.
Probably many times that Terry Wogan would have wanted to punch Pudsey. So.
Oh yeah.
Stop stealing my limelight, man. So that's cool. So how long was your set then?
We did 2:45s.
2:45.
We did so the night before at the Labour Club. We did 3:45s, which was long, especially after 12 hours in a car with Rainer. Not saying being in a car with Rainer is hard work, but
really, because I'm saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. The other thing, reason why Rainer came with me all the way on this trip is because Rainer picked up a new drum kit as well.
Oh,
so he's picked
drumming all the way. Sorry.
So he's
bells on Harley's ring. Making tops bright. No.
I can't think of a rhyme. Anyway, so he's picked up a new drum kit at Tama Superstar Hyperdrive. Really nice kit. He's been to Sound Attack today to sort out some extra bits just to make sure it's all working. I don't know when he's got his next gig. He's got a gig with Easttown Pirates, I think, this weekend.
I don't know when he does. Stick around for the old giggly.
I don't know when his next gig with you, but you'll be able to hear it in all its glory when that comes about. But it's a really nice kit. I've gigged with a lot of people who've used them, so that will sound really cool. So that's that. But
it's a nice little thing to have to do over a week, just to actually hang out with your mates. Like you said, you're actually having some time to sit there and talk about stuff.
Yeah, like I said, we've mentioned many times that sometimes you don't get a chance to sort of hang out and not be at work when you're working in this kind of industry, when you're just friends with the people you work with.
It's really nice to be able to hang out with you guys over the week. But like just going out on Friday, the old jet.
Yeah, that's it, and we get to do it all again on Wednesday with our Rock Project Christmas meal.
Why? Because
hopefully we'll be a little bit more well behaved than last time we did a Christmas meal.
I was not there.
Oh yeah, you were playing. Yeah. So you had to be on your best behaviour, and that was a good fun when we did it was the Milsons, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The awards evening for Suffolk Business Awards, and we had a lot of fun. We did. We did whilst you worked.
I witnessed it. So
yeah, I can imagine that was more fun
stood
for
up
you.
in court.
Yeah.
So wonderful, mate. Thank you very much for just telling us about what you did, because what you did was great, mate. Harley did stuff well done, buddy. Sorry. Harley said he needed to.
I did not.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a gig this weekend which is very, very, very fun to look forward to. It's got 3 Joshes. That's mental, right? 3 Joshes that are all frontmen. And the first of those Joshes is this wonderful man, Josh Sandy, for Baby Brother. This song is called Astral Away. Stick around. That was Baby Brother with Astral Away. Check that out on Bandcamp. That's available for download, as well as he's got a couple other singles on there. You can see him this Saturday with us at the Three Wise Monkeys. That's going to be mental.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I really can't.
I still need to go to the Three Wise Monkeys.
In Ipswich, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's the Ipswich one.
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to go there. Me and Nikki were planning on going for lunch, but then realised that was Wednesday when we're doing our Christmas meal. I can't be that greedy and have 2 meals out.
So I want to say a quick, massive congratulations to all the Rock Project students for this year.
Definitely.
Harley and I have decided that this is our last show until New Year's.
Yep. Yeah.
So if you're listening in, we're not going to be in for the next 2 weeks.
They'll probably play some older episodes,
so we'll be at that. But so before the year's out, I just want to say a massive, massive well done to all the guys and girls for practicing all the songs that we've been teaching them over the past year, and really pulling out all the stops for their parents as they came along and watched them over the past couple weeks. We've actually got one last one to do today with the juniors and seniors.
The last of our not a gigs.
Not a gigs, yeah. Exactly. It was basically we introduced the parents to what we actually do in the sessions, so we let them come in and watch while we do the performance sessions. And they didn't disappoint. It was just really nice to watch the kids taking on the advice we've given. Some nerves. I mean, certain things.
It's amazing how they change ever so slightly when they're
the parents there,
or just having an audience,
and also people they don't know. I mean, having people you don't know is around is a good thing for us to do during a performance session, to be honest, because it does show you what it's actually like at a gig. You barely know anybody in the audience, but you've still got to treat them like friends. So it's the kind of thing of unless you're in like a scary hardcore band where you're just like everybody jump and kill each other. I love it. Because. It was really nice just to watch them still coming out of those shells, even though there were some people in there they didn't know. There was certain hiccups that they didn't usually do, which is a nice sort of kind of study for what they'd be like in the real world. And we're seeing a lot more of our students going out there into the real world and doing it. There was a video that Victoria and Sarah put up of Theo and Thomas, that are Rock Product students, playing an open mic together, which was really fun, really great to see. It's very fulfilling to see that as a teacher, knowing that you've been, around giving them performance tips, and they're out there doing it, and they're actually kind of taking those things on board. But any standout performances that you saw from the adult students to junior students to senior students? I don't
want to single people out, but there was a lot of people going, this is the moment I have to perform, and there were some people really putting on a show, especially from some of the singers, going, let's give them something to look at in terms of let's put on a performance. Actually, I will call out Anne Lay's throwing the mic at the end of Bruno Mars's grenade.
Yeah, I love it, treating it like a mic grenade.
Yeah, she was like, it was kind of like a mic drop, but without making the sound engineer angry. Yes, that's it. She finished the song and just threw it at Cat, and Cat caught it. Yes, apparently they've been practicing that for weeks and they didn't tell anyone.
Nice.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, just little extra touches like that just really, really help. There were certain things that the adult students and the junior students and the senior students did that we had given them to do. There was one specific thing that I told people to do was when you're not doing something that's like, puts you at the front, specifically singers, move up to the other musicians, put the focus onto them, because when you're just standing there right in the middle with a microphone and you're not actually singing, you've still got all the focus on you, and that makes it even worse for you if you are suffering from a little bit of anxiety from being there.
Do you, going back to sort of the parents or strangers thing, like when you were growing up, you're obviously sort of to a point where you're quite comfortable performing and doing your thing, but did you ever have that kind of, my parents are here, now that's really awkward, some people hate playing in front, they'd rather play in front of strangers than people they know. Did you ever have anything like that?
Yeah, I think it's like when we used to do the sort of the gigs at the memorial halls and the village halls, where we would bring all our friends along, but then our parents would come along, mostly because they were the ones signing off the deposit for the place. They would be the ones that are actually financially under pressure for it. But they'd be there and you'd just be like, oh, crikey. So not only have I got to prove to them that I'm worth all these lessons that they've paid for, same with the Rock Project, it's like, oh, crikey, I've got to make them look like that we've actually been working here. And also they were financially, for us, they were financially viable for what was happening at the hall. So you can't really feel like, I'm just going to trash the place.
I want to show my friends that I'm really cool, but I don't want my parents to think that I'm trying to be cool.
Drinking a bottle of Jack on stage when you.
No, that was always a thing. I know a lot of people hate sort of playing to their parents and stuff, and it's that's always the challenge. For me, I still have a thing. If there's a bass player in the audience that I really like, respect, or musician, I'm like, right, can't mess up, and I'll concentrate more on playing bass, and I'll do fine and stuff. But then I'm like, wait, I'm not performing.
Yeah. Do you think it actually, from you focusing more, you do worse?
Yeah. I think if I'm not thinking about it, I'll make the mistakes that I'm going to make anyway. But then I'm just in the moment. I can chill and dance and put on a show. Whereas if I'm thinking about it, I'm not playing in the moment.
I'm not even sure
ahead.
because I agree with you there, but I think it's also a fact of just you notice you mess up more if you're focusing, because I think a lot of the time when I'm just going with the flow and I'm not really worried about what's going on too much, because I'm just performing and it's just letting it happen, I'm probably making just as many mistakes as I would as if I was really focusing on making sure that I was playing the best, because I don't know. You're going to make more mistakes when you're throwing your guitar around, but you're going to notice yourself making more mistakes if you're just focusing on it a lot.
Going back to Saturday night, actually, I made a lot of mistakes because I was so tired. I only had like 4 hours sleep. Done all that driving, come back, set up for a gig, and all right, well, let's do a gig. And I was making mistakes all over the place. Didn't make too many that were like detrimental to the song.
Glaring.
But the guys, we're on the same level. That there was never that kind of get it together, man. They would turn into me and we're having a laugh about it. And Elliot turned to me and he was like, "That last song, man, I don't know what has happened to your voice." And I was like, "I just want bed." And it's like it was really nice that he identified that I'd made a horrible mistake on a harmony, but there was never any condescension of get that together. It was really like, it was just like, that was hilarious, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's kind of what you want out of a band, isn't it? It's just sort of back up and a little bit of camaraderie when you mess up, because everybody messes up. It's kind of a different thing that I get with my band, because a lot of the time I am the man cracking the whip. So if somebody messes up, I give them a stink eye. I've gotten a little bit a bit better at it, because people have called me out on just being like, well, people being Rainer and Dave have called me out for giving them stink eye when they've done something that's annoyed me. You know the feeling when somebody just looks at you and goes, like when you've messed up.
Side note, because I've never had that major stink eye from you,
right? When
we've played with Hopefuls and stuff like that. I mean, when we've done the old duo gig, you've looked at me and made a mistake and had a laugh, but then they've been in a situation where it's been a last minute depth thing.
Yeah, so you can expect it.
Yeah, but with Hopefuls, you're always. Is that because this is a recent band and you got better at it in that time, or do you just feel less onus on you?
Also that as well. Yeah, because I think maybe
leave the stink eyes for Andy.
Exactly. But no, I think it's just I've just gotten better at it, because I started to sort of look back at the amount of times that I've sort of berated people for getting something wrong. Most of the time, if I berate somebody for getting something wrong, it's because it's something they should have practiced or they should know, but they just haven't practiced it.
It's hard to kind of keep that humour when they make the same mistakes again, which is fair enough.
But I've sort of maybe just sort of made the stink eye into words now. Stink words. Not so much not just being mean. I think it's just calling people out when they should have been doing something, because that's one thing that we do in the Rock Project. In the when they've just finished a song, a lot of the time there's too much of a push for us to just go, well done, that was great, you're kids, and you're up there and you're doing this, and that's very cool for us to watch. But there's a lot of the time where I have to just be like, no, you should be way better at that. And I have to just call people out, just like, look, you messed up that solo and you've been playing that solo for months. So speaking
as someone who's been on the other side of that conversation, sometimes you need that. I've had people gone, you should know this by now. You had 2 weeks to learn that, and it's not a song that takes 2 weeks to learn.
Yeah.
Why haven't you got that down? I've been busy. Well, don't be busy. Make yourself less busy. If you don't have time to learn the song, you don't have time to do the gig.
There's always a rebuttal, isn't there? Unless it's like something like you said, but it's a last minute dep gig and you're just thrown at it. There's kind of no excuse when you're getting paid for something and you're not doing it right. But you knew that it was coming up. It's something you got to sort out. And I've been that guy so many times before as well. So I think just being on both sides of that, you can have a bit of perspective. But anyway, what did we do yesterday? Oh, yesterday Frankie and I just spent the entire day watching the Hobbit extended editions.
Wow,
all day.
Nice.
So we've done the Lord of the Rings and we've done the Hobbit.
That's
all of them in one day.
Is it me, or is Lord of the Rings a Christmassy thing? Like, it always seems to be on telly around Christmas.
Yeah, I think it must be.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things where people just want to, that's something that's definitely going to get people watching TV in it. But I just missed Middle Earth because I'm reading the Silmarillion and lots of Tolkien's extended stuff at the moment. So I'm just like, I need to see it.
Yes.
But anyway, so that was my week. I did some stuff and
Awesome.
What did I do? What I just talked about. Were you not listening past me?
Oh.
Anyway, so I want to play my new favourite Hot Tramp song, I want to say, because they released a sort of two singles recently I say recently, it was over Halloween.
Still recent.
Yeah, I mean,
you're talking to someone who says the other day when they're talking about something that happened 3 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, I do that. So yeah, this one's called "Ain't It a Scream." This is by Hot Tramp. This is available for free download. Go on their Facebook page and stuff. They're playing with me this weekend.
Yay!
Oh.
Yes.
That was Ain't It a Scream by Hot Tramp. Love that. Also recorded by Tom Donovan, same as we played a Spider-Vein track last week. So, yeah, I think that's just their sound. They've really got that nailed down in the studio, I think. So.
Like it's nice to have a band that has a studio sound.
Exactly. So they're playing with us this Saturday, 22nd, at Three Wise Monkeys Ipswich with Baby Brother and JS and the Lockerbillies. So you can stick around for the gig list for a little bit more info on that. So, you know, we did some good stuff over the last week, but what's kind of really important, my friend, is this next section. Music news, here we go with music news. It's the worst jingle I've ever written.
You have to be kidding me. That's mad.
So, just learnt today about an anti-Brexit letter. The B word came up, I'm sorry. Signed by many music executives, including some big name music stars like Paloma Faith and Annie Lennox. It's basically several artists, music business executives and UK music industry bodies have signed a letter calling on the UK government for an alternative to Brexit. Stars signing the letter, drafted by Music for EU, it's a sort of trade body, include Annie Lennox, Chrissie Hynde of The Pretenders, Paloma Faith, and film composer David Arnold. So industry bodies supported the initiative include the Musicians Union, obviously, the Association of Independent Music, Music Managers Forum, crikey, it's a big one, British Academy of Songwriters, Composers and Authors, and the Music Producers Guild.
Wow.
So it's a lot of people behind it. So basically, in the letter, just to read a small snippet of it, Brexit represents a significant threat to the UK's music industry, and that in the post-Brexit UK, there is a clear risk that reaching consumers and fans will be more expensive, and international markets will be harder to access. No one voted for this situation, they say. Whether they voted leave or remain, it is critical to find a way out of this mess, and therefore we ask you to examine alternative options to maintain our current influence and freedom to trade. So yeah, I think it's the celebrity weight behind it is a little bit annoying sometimes, because there's this thing of elite, which a lot of people that voted leave were voting against, was elites getting involved in their stuff, and just thinking because you're famous, you can change legislation, which is something that people voted for, is a bit annoying. But being a musician, I am very much behind this. Yeah,
it's a weird one that there's also there's two sides of it of just because they're celebrity doesn't mean their voices should be heard over other people's. Mm-hmm. But then also, you don't know how much. When you've got the backing of the music, all these big
trade bodies,
trading bodies. Thank you. They've obviously done a lot of research. They obviously know the maths and the numbers that are behind it, mm-hmm. and it does, just because they're celebrities in our views doesn't mean that they shouldn't be listened to.
Right.
There was a video a little while ago of some guy saying that who was it? Richard Ashcroft saying that musicians shouldn't become political, because they're at the end of the day they're entertainment. They shouldn't be using their fame to influence other people.
Tell that to Bob Dylan.
yeah, that's it.
Tell that to go Rage Against the Machine.
Tell that to most bands who have actually got an opinion on something. Yeah. And there's actually a Ruben song, whoop whoop, where he actually says if you put stuff into a song, people listen more when it's sung rather than said, and there is some psychological to that, but still. So where do you? So you've said you're well and truly part of this and up for this.
Yes, I'm a Ramona, and I voted Remain, but I'm not one of these people that's going out there and they're going, "Oh, I lost, so I'm really annoyed." My problem is I'm kind of feeling a little bit bad for people that did vote Leave, because this is not what they wanted at all. This is at the moment, just the Conservative Party breaking up and infighting all the time.
Yeah.
There's constant leadership challenges and votes of no confidence, and there's the current deal looks like it's going to be voted down, which is really playing havoc with the economy and making the pound look very, very weak. So this is not what people who voted leave wanted at all.
No.
So, and it's not what people voted remain. I think there's probably a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm so glad this is going badly for them, and it's just a bit of sadism involved. But
I remember sort of thinking this of going, there's a certain amount of those who voted remain went, because it'll all go wrong if we vote leave, are going, we were right. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be right.
No.
That's why they didn't vote leave. Because,
exactly.
At the same time...
But then hubris involved.
At the same time, if it was Remain and it caused loads of political uproar in the same vein...
Yeah, that tribalism would work in the opposite way.
It goes both ways. And, I think it's a hard thing to get.
But in terms of the music industry, I mean, I've been worried about... That's one of the reasons why I voted... Well, most of the reason why I voted Remain was because I'm worried about what it's going to be like for touring. I mean, to go over, needing a different passport or, having to different work visas to get over onto mainland Europe will be a massive blow to people that are going to be working in the music industry. So, stuff like this is something to get behind. I mean, you came up with a really interesting figure earlier of just about how much of the UK's income is from music.
Yeah, I did a bit of research all by myself.
All by myself.
And I found a figure that it's broken now. My phone's broken.
Great. You said it was about
4.5 billion. It's working now.
£4.5 billion.
That the musicians, the music industry bring into the country, contributes to our economy, and that we employ, I think something like the music industry employs 145,000 people, which are actually not that big consider the money that it brings in.
Well, that's probably registered people that people that are just going out there and gigging for fun. I think if they added those in,
that would be a lot more.
But they're still still contributing to the entertainment industry and the music industry itself.
And the knock-on effects of not having this the European Union means that it will make it a lot harder for us to export or to import that income from UK bands doing world tours, bringing money into the country, and also in terms of just selling merch and selling stuff for bands who are international, selling T-shirts, stuff like that. That all contributes as well.
I mean, international is kind of a bit buzzword there because this is to do with the European Union and the certain countries that are in there. I think there was 25 member states or something like this. Yeah. So it's kind of trying to factor that in is quite difficult to do in the maths. I mean, we can't sit there and say how much of that 4.5 billion will be, made from the European Union itself. Yeah, it may even help that we leave because of certain options will be open to industry executives for other countries that were that had blinders put on them before. But I don't know. Personally, I'm thinking about the live music industry, and I think that it's going to be quite difficult. So, at the moment, at current times, with the certain deal that's being proposed, does look particularly damaging. Yeah. Well, back to what we were talking about with the Article 13 thing, that the meme ban and all these different things that we've talked about on the show before with Raina Vandel, that would not be in place if we left the EU, which a lot of people have said would be a good thing. That Article 13 itself would be a good thing for the music industry. So, I don't know, if we do leave the European Union, that could open it up for more places like YouTube and Facebook to be stamping all over the musicians' rights, etc. I don't know. What do you think will happen about the recording industry?
That's an interesting one, actually, because I mean, we've had UK have seen a lot of bands as well coming into the UK to record. There's some massive internationally known studios in the UK where bands will come from all over the world to record in, and that extra step of having to do visas and stuff like that's going to cause a bit of people going, is it worth us going to Abbey Road when there's that studio across the road that's
or in your bedroom?
And there's that, and there's also all the other sides of the recording industry that sort of happens behind the closed doors, which is very important, like the mastering. But then you've also got the publishing as well, which, although that's becoming more of an online thing anyway, so that might not be affected so much. But then if you take one process out of the country, other ones will potentially leave as well.
I think we're always going to have some very, very talented musicians, engineers, and business minds in the UK, and people will always be wanting to get some of our input on things. So be that a songwriter or composer that is going to be used, like David Ashcroft, and not David Ashcroft. Who am I talking about? No. Sorry, David Arnold, and also people like the people that have signed this letter, like Paloma Faith.
Oh yes,
will be asked to work outside of the UK and be given work from outside of the UK.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It remains to be seen what happens from this letter. I have not heard anything about it in the news, in the mainstream media, which just shows that this happened a couple of days ago. So if this is not really being heard, internationally, whether it's going to get a lot of levity, even though big names get behind it and big trade bodies get behind it, the music industry is still seen as a bit of a byproduct of a good economy.
If it is something that you guys at home really care about, it's probably would be good advice to sort of share it amongst your friends, share it amongst your musical compadres, and let people know that this is happening.
That people are getting behind this. Spread. So I don't know. We'll see. The more people that get behind this means that perhaps we'll be getting a better deal, because I do believe this is just going to happen. Brexit is going to happen.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure that the deal is going to be right for musicians.
Yeah. That's where we are at.
I think that stuff that we talked about, wasn't that a thing that we thought about? But this is a different thing I thought about. This morning.
Jingle.
Oh, we thought about jingles. So Harley, we've talked about this before out of the show, and I thought it would be a great idea for us to talk about this on air, because music and mental health. So anybody listening in knows that there are different ways that music can help combat mental health issues, like therapies, but there are also ways that music can really harm your mental health. So I'd like to sort of talk about both of those things. How do you feel that music has affected you in a positive way?
In a positive way.
In your mental health already?
To be honest, I think for the main part, the fact that I am doing music and finding a way somehow in the current climate to make it as a job, make it as a business, puts me in a very happy place. I work a lot, and that's potentially not a great thing, but I've never had that wake up and going, I can't be bothered to do that gig. I've been exhausted and going, this is going to be hard work, but I love doing what I do. And I think my general happiness is contributed to the fact that I get to do this every day.
Yeah,
it's
well, you've touched on an interesting point there, because I was sort of reading up on this today, and what I sort of came up with this. Do you ever feel like that you are convincing yourself that waking up, feeling like you haven't slept, is part of the job? Do you feel like missing friends, get-togethers, not eating, not exercising, and you're too stressed, and sometimes, turning to drugs or alcohol? I'm not talking just to you, I'm talking to everybody here. Do you feel like that's part of the music industry? I mean, thinking that we may only be doing with this until we have achieved X, or we are X years old. Apparently between 65 and 75% of people surveyed in the music industry suffer from stress, anxiety, or depression. So, and I listen to this, and I find that I draw a lot of parallels, because there are certain times when I just haven't slept, and I'm telling myself it's just because I did this gig, and I've got another gig now. I mean, that's just the way it is. Or I'm not eating properly because I'm hopping between shows, or I'm not exercising because I go off to the gig at a time when it's either too busy at the gym, or it's not closed, or I just don't feel like exercising. And the difficult thing really is noticing that everybody in the world has mental health as well as physical health. Those two are also intertwined. And thinking that we haven't been diagnosed with anxiety or depression, or just stress, that we don't actually have a problem. You actually end up hurting the problem, and you're not actually thinking about your mental health. How do you feel that music hurts your mental health?
I think I have a strange what's the word, relationship with sleep. I don't tend to sleep a lot, and I'm aware that that's something I need to do. And it's so easy to go, I go to bed late and I wake up late. That's how I do things, which is fine unless you need to wake up early and then you still go to bed late, and then that's bad because then you don't get enough sleep for your day, and then that can just have a knock-on effect on just your general mood in that whole day. And that is some point a downside to working late. And like for certain things, like Monday nights I won't finish a project till 11 o'clock, and I used to go home and I will be up until sort of 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. More recently, I've been using that time where I'm going to the gym, because I'm trying to work on my physical fitness to a point where I can just get and I find doing more exercise and stuff has really helped my general sort of outlook and happiness, and I find I'm a lot less stressed because of that. I'm still having stupidly late nights, but those few hours that I have, which are chill down time, I'm still mentally sort of
switched on. Yeah.
Well, I'm mentally sort of slowing down, even though I'm doing physical activity.
Right.
I'm not thinking about.
It's quite meditative. Doing, especially doing exercise when you're just counting, breathing and counting. That's what physical exercise really is when you're doing weight training. It's actually been clinically found that weight training is much better for your mental state than running, and because there is much more of a focus on breathing and on counting. But I mean, there's something that you and I both do, and I noticed that that yours is quite extreme sometimes because you do work quite a lot.
Yeah.
Is that we do overworking sometimes becomes a bit of a badge of honor. Like, how often do you sit there and say, "Oh, I would, but I'm just so busy because I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this," and you're proud of it, but then there's people just look at you and just go, "Geez, what are you doing?"
This is a catchphrase that you've had when people say you must be really busy, and your response is,
"Oh yeah,
I've got to be, otherwise they call you lazy."
Yeah, that's mine.
That's one thing I get.
I done made that up.
What I absolutely hate is people going, "Oh, you've got time." Or, "Oh yeah, you're lazy." And my parents for a long time did sort of make jokes, not in any sort of harsh way, but just happen to go, "Oh yeah, but you don't get up early," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
it's because I go to sleep late.
And to be honest, I still get up early, like when I can or when I need to. It's not a problem for me. But that really sort of grinded me, and I had to sort of say, look, please don't say stuff like that, because that really makes me feel like I'm not working hard, even though I'm doing 15-hour days. It's like, something needs to give.
Talking about knock-on effects is an interesting thing. So just if anybody listening in has heard of this, has felt like this, here's some symptoms for certain things. I'm not WebMD here right now, so I'm not a doctor. But symptoms for anxiety: feeling tense, feeling nervous, feeling on edge, a sense of paranoia, like others staring at you, ruminating on negative experiences, so just talking about bad stuff more than you speak about good stuff, difficulty sleeping, some people have panic attacks, restlessness, and problems concentrating. I think, I've felt some of that, and I do feel anxious at times. There are also some symptoms of depression, which is something I'm going to admit that I do suffer from. And I've a little bit too much recently because I haven't been gigging enough, and it really does make me some of these things like lethargic. I've been feeling really lethargic, not achieving certain goals. Guilt, worthlessness, despair, feeling a bit tearful, isolated, and find it difficult to relate to others. Aches or pains with no cause. I'm constantly having back injuries. That sort of stuff for just nothing.
I think they have cause though, with the amount of loading in and out.
Yeah, that's true. Avoiding social situations and not enjoying things. That happens. A bad memory and decision making, overeating, sleeping, and in some situations, drug and alcohol use. The problem is with this kind of thing is that we, being self-employed, don't have an HR department. And we can't just sit there and say, I'm going to go sit down with the HR department on my lunch break. You really do need to be part of the Musicians Union, which does have that kind of thing, which does have a helpline. The BPI, British Phonographic Industry, have actually set up their own thing where they do have a line that you can call just to say, this is how I'm feeling. They can't diagnose anything, but they can push you in a certain direction.
Yeah.
There's also the NHS mood assessment form, which you can go on the NHS and just say, this is how I'm feeling, and it will tell you might be suffering from anxiety or depression. You can call 111.
Yes.
Good friends of ours like Kezia, Tom McCarthy's girlfriend, has been training really hard and does help a lot of people through situations like that. They just sit on the phone, they will talk to you through certain things. It's not short term what happens to us, and it can cause physical illness is the thing, is we can overexert ourselves. There are certain ways that you can do it to help yourself, which is talking about it and have a record of your emotions, have a routine, eat healthily and exercise. I'm trying to do a lot more of those things, and it does have a knock-on effect. Just drinking more water.
Yeah, you're really good at that. I'm not.
And when you're getting better. Just don't drink so many caffeine drinks. There's also the things of when you're around somebody that you feel like could be suffering from this thing, like listening. Just listening to someone that you think is seeming to make down. Don't be critical of oh, don't be so down. Just smile more. Just telling somebody to smile or cheer up is such a bad thing to do. I don't want to say the word trigger because it's such a millennial thing. And just checking in with people. If you think, oh, that person was a bit down last time I saw him. So the way to do this really is just to be kind to yourself and to live your life how you want to, not how you think you should. As I worry about this, and a lot of my musician friends, yourself included, is that we sort of feel like that we just have to just work hard because the industry is hard graft. Recently, I've been feeling it as I've been gigging, but I felt like that I've been able to catch up on seeing friends, going out to gigs and doing things that I love has been really helpful of just me feeling happier recently.
That's it. I don't know many musicians who have said, like, well, let's put it another way, because I'm going to then forget about someone who has had a weekend to themselves or whatever, but on the weekends you have been gigging, you've been going to gigs, you've been doing stuff with your girlfriend, seeing friends and stuff, which is great, and that's what we need as humans, to sort of be, to sort of keep us in check and in touch with reality. And
you've been active thinking about it. We've not mentioned the words mental health on the show, but you just saying when you went to Centre Parks and you had some time to just sit there and think and go, this is what I find important. I'm going to focus on those things. So when I get back, I'm going to go chat with my friends. I'm going to make time for my girlfriend. I'm just going to go and do things that I enjoy. And it's a very difficult thing to be able to do that when you're in an industry like this. I know so many of our friends, like Rainer, like Tom, like David Brown, and Rob Lewis. They all work so hard. And Andy Hopgood, I've seen her work her butt off.
And not to say they work, and they do work hard, and their work and the work they do goes noticed. It's also very useful for you as not even just talking music, but if you work hard for something, to be able to recognise that what you've done has paid off. And recognise that, and it's very important for you to sort of go, look, I've done good.
But I think it's just important for people that are listening in to know that what you do is important. When you're a musician, or you as a person, what you do is important. You are appreciated, but you need to take more time on yourself and think about your mental health as well as your physical health. Your physical health, like just eating right and just drinking more water, can have a knock-on effect on your mental health as well. There's a certain thing, your microbiome, certain things in your stomach. There's apparently there's the nerves in your stomach can make up the same size as a cat's brain. Apparently that's a thing, and so what you eat is actually has a knock-on effect on what your body craves. So if you're eating really bad food, you end up just craving bad food. So anyway,
just as a counter argument, some cats are very stupid.
Exactly. I have the brain the size of a cat. But anyway, do you guys get affected by mental illness? Please just let us know, and just talk to somebody, or if you know somebody with a mental illness or who feel like has something but is not diagnosed, then check in with them, just see if they're all right, and just remember what you do is important. Definitely. So, talking of important things, my friend, oh my goodness, it's time for the... Yes, it is. This week I've kept the gig list quite short because I wanted to talk about that. So we are playing this week twice, my friend.
Hey.
Twice. So I'm playing with Dr. Feelgood, the mighty Dr. Feelgood.
That's awesome, man.
This Thursday.
Where are you playing?
At Venue 77.
Venue 77 in
Ipswich on Thursday. So that's thanks to Stephen Foster from BBC Suffolk. Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, nice one.
As we mentioned earlier, there's still tickets for that. You've got to get tickets though, by the way. So Easttown Pirates, woo, and Matilda's Scoundrels are playing with Casual Nausea. You'll be able to see Rainer Van Dale with his brand new kit.
Yeah, buddy.
This Friday, 21st of December at the Steamboat Tavern. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Some proper punk. Also, December 21st, we have Impilo, Orange and Benny Davis are playing at the Smokehouse. That's Ipswich this Friday at 7:30. Big Ting, Underline the Sky, their 10-year anniversary holiday show. They're playing this Saturday at the Smokehouse. That's the 22nd.
They've been sharing loads of their old music videos.
I lived this one down.
Yes.
I was at that video shoot.
Were you? Did you make it into the video?
No, I wasn't.
That's a shame.
I was hanging at the back being a cool kid.
Fair. Well,
Not
yeah.
really.
But check out on their Facebook if you want to see some old school videos
some
of
people
them playing.
that you know as well.
Oh, yeah.
With scene kid haircuts. Oh, I had that one.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
So, yeah, my important gig of the week, I've got two important gigs. I can't really moat them, but we've worked on this a lot. The Lockerbillies are playing with Hot Tramp and Baby Brother, all those people you've listened to today.
The three Joshes.
Exactly. So Josh Sandifer, Josh Carr, and Josh Locke. We're all the front men. It's really weird. Anyway, so Josh and Josh had that idea ages ago, so we thought we've got to do this. That's brilliant. This Saturday, 22nd of December, free entry. Check it out. But another important thing happening on Saturday, 22nd, is Chart Attack.
Yeah,
are playing at the Grosvenor, boy.
Looking forward to that. We are very much looking forward to that.
They love you at the Grosvenor, didn't they?
We played last year and it went down really well. The one thing we're also looking forward to as well, because we're going to be finishing about 11:30. They got music at the Cork that evening as well that goes on till about 1 o'clock, which is Space Rocks, my old band.
Wow.
But they've got Simon Goldsmith on bass, who I love that guy. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see them. We're all going to go along and make a night of that. So if you're in Felixstowe, there's a lot of very good music going on that Saturday. But we're the most important, so come see us.
Exactly. We didn't get around to the old Facebook game this week. The Facebook game goes on every Saturday, and this week we did name a song with a number in the title. We had loads coming in on this one. But I'm just going to call out Gareth Patch, because he did a bunch of different, I was goading him on, because he started off with loads of songs that had one in them. And I was like, okay, so do some with two on it. And he's like, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Death on Two Legs, Two Tribes, two of us. And I was like, carry on, 3 next. He's like, yeah, it's tricky. 3 is a magic number, 3 little birds, 3 a.m. eternal, 3 times a lady, and knock 3 times all of them. Can I cash in my chips now? I said, we have a winner. So he's like, time for a lie down. So yeah, well done, Gareth.
Because we're not going to be here to talk next week, I want to mention Christmas Eve. Have you got a gig on Christmas Eve?
Yes, I do. I'm at the Arcade Tavern.
Wonderful. And I will be playing in the Hoseley at the Shepherd and Dog.
Oh, cool.
We might have a couple of special guest singers on that one as well. So
we're also playing at St. Peter's of the Waterfront. There are actually no tickets left, I'm afraid, so it's all sold out. Oh my God. But you are playing at the Golf.
I'm playing at the Golf Hotel, yes. I think tickets are on sale for that. I don't know if they've sold out yet, but I will find out, and we'll be sharing the way to go get tickets for that for anyone who wants to come see us on New Year's Eve.
Exactly. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got any sort of stories that are related to our Brexit talk or our musicians and mental health talk, please let us know. We love you loads, and
we do, yeah.
We'll see you in the new year. All right, this is Break On Through by me, JS and the Lockerbillies. Holly and Josh.
Just a young boy about the age of 5. My folks said you're gonna do anything you want, just as long as it rocks any old way you choose. I tried to be a dancer, an actor too. I tried to be a painter, but well, what's the use? I can't do anything but sing these songs to you. So when
disclaimer, this is playing way faster than the original record, so enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime listen to me being a chipmunk.
You sound so youthful.
We played all of the venues and the village halls. Chronic sound abuse is just a shaking down the walls. We couldn't do anything but sing our songs to you. another band, and we toured the land.